That's good. So we're good there.
Okay.
So I don't see your screen yet. Did you? There's a
Oh,
second.
I had to hit start. That
Yeah,
would help.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, so if you're seeing my screen, let me get rid of some stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna go over here real quick and save something I was working on, so I don't lose it. There we go.
It's just the Skype. All right.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. So let me make this smaller.
Yeah, you can minimize it quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
And just kind of put me in the corner somewhere.
Yeah, that's apparently the smallest that will go. Okay.
Really? Okay.
All right. So the procedure is, it's multi-layered, you could say. So what I usually do is I start with opening up the blog dashboard. So the podcast resides on my blog, which is blog.jeffreyshaw.com. So I go ahead and I open up the admin for the blog
Oh, and WordPress, of course, right?
in WordPress.
Okay.
Yeah. I seem to always not remember which is my username.
Yeah, and I guess you'll give me the password and all that, but
Yes.
okay. I'll just watch for now.
Yeah, as soon as I have the government do a full background check on you, then I'll give you my password.
Okay, that's
so,
cool.
so I actually open up the dashboard twice. And you'll see why in a moment. I just find it easier to actually have it
Okay.
open twice because there's stuff that I copy from previous ones.
Okay.
So this way it kind of speeds up the copy and pasting a little bit. And then I just always remember the left one is the live one that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what we'll be doing is adding a new post. We have super fast internet, but I find WordPress really slow and clunky.
It is very clunky.
Okay. And actually, I'll move this over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, again, we'll create a shared folder for you as well because we have our Creative Warrior episodes are all in a folder.
Okay.
The episode we're working on now is Dr. Julie Connor. It's number 46.
Okay, so they're all titled. Cool.
Yep. And in there, you'll see something that'll say podcast copy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we'll be working with. I try to leave this window open too because we'll need it for other things.
Okay. Okay.
We'll put a title up here. And we try to, there's a certain format which we always keep.
Okay.
So, for example, let me slide this over. The title would be Dr. Julie. Oops.
So you don't copy and paste it, you just...
I could. I mean, that just is so brief that I don't know.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
And then we always do, in quotes, dreams to action. Okay.
So around the dash, do you put another space, or is that your format right there?
I do put another space after the dash,
But not before it.
not before it.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's just a habit thing. And then, and this might get a little tricky. I have a plugin called Squirrely, which I really love.
Right.
I don't know if you're familiar with Squirrely, but Squirrely is to track your SEO.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you'll just have to get a little imaginative here and think of what keyword. It has to be more than one word. So Julie, her thing is about dreams and actions. If you look at the copy a little bit, you can kind of get some ideas.
Okay.
It might be something like, I don't know, let me try dreams and goals. Right, so you just kind of do that, and then you tell Squirrely to do the research, and it will analyze what the number of conversations and the competition for it. Okay, so dreams and goals, and if you just mouse over it, it pops up. So there's only 210 searches for dreams and goals.
Okay.
That's pretty pathetic.
How about, well, never mind. I'm looking at the copy.
Isn't that a sad thing? There's only 212 people in the world searching for dreams and goals.
Yeah. How about transform your dream?
What was that?
Transform your dream.
Nope.
Okay.
What else? Maybe dream big?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sort of getting the gist now of the copy.
All right, well, there we go. All right, so this isn't too bad. So this has
Okay.
5,400 searches and no competition,
Perfect.
just awesome.
Right.
Because there's always a little bit of a trade-off. Sometimes I'll choose something that has fewer searches but lower competition.
Exactly. Get it?
So then you just hit use, and
Mm-hmm.
it adds it over here, and then you can just kind of collapse that so you don't have to look at it. Now, Squirrely will track everything, and you want to be able to. So now, dream big being this keyword, we want to figure out how to use that. So now, the first thing that would actually go in is a photo. Dr. Julie has not gotten me her headshot, so I'm going to show. We're just going to use somebody else's. I will have created the artwork for you. That's not something you'll have to do,
I
but
understand.
it will be in the folder. So I'm going to hop over to somebody else's folder, and I'll show you what the artwork looks like. All right, so this is more typically what somebody's folder will look like. They'll usually give us a couple of headshots.
Okay.
I create two different versions of artwork. One is the PSD. You'll never work with that. That's the Photoshop version that I just keep as the original. But then there's always one that will say Facebook, and then one that will say email.
Okay.
So Danielle Cover Facebook, Danielle Cover email,
Okay.
and then Danielle Round. That's for something else I'll show you in a moment. So because the sizing that we need, Facebook and blog are the same size.
Okay.
The one that's for you actually will never deal with the one that says email either, because I'll be doing the emails. So you just need
Okay.
the Danielle or whomever Facebook. So we're going to use that as example. So with the cursor at the top, you go ahead and add media.
Okay.
Upload file. Just drag it over. All right, once it's done uploading, you're always going to want this to be center alignment, and then you're going to insert it into the post. And it comes in huge,
Right.
bigger than it needs to.
Right.
Okay. And then if you return, now you're one space under that. Now this is where we add the podcast player. Of course, this is important. So that's why I pull up the other dashboard.
Okay.
So if I go to that dashboard and I just pull up all posts, because
Okay.
I tend to work with the most recent one.
Okay.
Of course, the Dr. Julie Connor is the one we're working on, so Randy Gage would be the most recent published one,
Okay.
which will say, it's supposed to say public somewhere, but it's obviously, oh yeah, here it is, published, yeah.
Okay.
So you want to go to the latest published one, hit edit, so it opens up. And then to grab the podcast player, it's actually better, although it's PowerPress. But for whatever reason, I've been told always to get it from the text and not
From the HTML.
the visual.
Okay.
Yep, so you're getting it from the HTML.
No problem.
So copy that, go back over to the one you're actually working on, right underneath it, paste it in.
So it's just that one piece?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that pulls in the entire podcast.
Cool. Okay.
One return, and then we go back to our copy, and then copy and paste the whole thing except for the title.
So when you say the whole thing, what is that? Does that go all the way down through offers, gratuities, all that?
Yeah, although, yes, you want to grab the whole thing.
Okay.
You could also do, Command All if you wanted to, but
Right.
all right. And then again, one space under PowerPress.
Right.
Bring the whole thing in. First thing I do here is I always change the type, because I don't like the type that defaults, and I have yet to figure out how to change a default type in WordPress.
Right.
So silly, but I change it to, Trebuchet. There we go.
Okay.
And it usually defaults to 12, but no, actually I think it defaults to 10. I move it to 12,
Perfect.
the Trebuchet, because it's just a little small. And then I change highlight, because it comes in naturally in paragraphs, so I change highlight to heading 4.
Okay.
And resources to heading 4. And it hardly looks any different here, but it shows up dramatically different once you see it in preview.
I'm very familiar with those headings, yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that much better?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good.
What about offers? You don't do offers?
I do. Yeah. Thank you.
See, I'm reading your mind.
Yep, exactly. And there's more to offers than that, but I'll show you that in a second. I just kind of work from the top. And then, so here for resources, what we do is, so I would type here something like Dr. Julie on Twitter.
Okay.
And I had to make a decision at some point in my life whether to capitalize or not capitalize Twitter and Facebook, because you kind of in the world see it both ways.
Exactly.
But I've decided just capitalize it.
Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah. And then so I copy that, delete it, and highlight Twitter, go to the link.
Yep.
Oh, I always have it open up in a new tab.
Okay.
Add link. And then, so this will be Dr. Julie on Google+.
Okay.
Oops. It's impossible to type when you know somebody's watching.
Yeah.
Command copy, delete. For whatever reason, once you've told it to open up in a new tab once, it remembers that.
Okay.
This is Dr. Julie on LinkedIn. And sometimes I'll go check. It'll also show up later, but for whatever reason, some of these, it worked. Sometimes you get like this weird like 20% sign before the HTTPS, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
like
was,
you. I always check that.
but I always check the preview once it goes live too.
Or to put into HTTPs or something.
Yeah, it does some weird things. So this is on Facebook. And this is her e-guide. So we always have a link here. It's a shorter link. We're an Amazon affiliate. So that's why we create a special link there.
Okay.
And then even though this isn't her own book, you know, if our guests mention books,
Of course.
we
If there's a
include
link,
those.
then you want to link it on, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, and then once that's done, I highlight the whole thing and then bullet it.
Bulletin. Okay.
Yeah, so that it matches above it.
Nice.
All right, now we go underneath here, and then we go back over to the other blog again, because now we can go to visual. I have my own link for my own coaching program that I put, because it's mentioned it's an ad in every podcast episode.
Yeah.
So I always make sure that that's in as a resource as well.
Yep.
And it often does that. It gives you a whole different type font, figure. There we go.
Okay.
And for the offers and gratitude, there's actually a whole, that's why I don't always, I mean, it doesn't really matter which order you, but it's usually at this point I'll grab the whole thing from here down.
Okay.
Add that over here. All right, so now you have to go back and just change all this. So instead of Randy, it's Dr. Julie. He's generously offering and what she's offering. Her gift is down here, planning table.
Okay.
So
I get it.
actually, I guess it's called planning. And actually, yeah, planning table download. Planning table download. And then check out Creative Warriors offers page. That just stays there where you can grab. Again, you just have to little details. Dr. Julie's.
So the Creative Warriors, does that go back to you, or?
Yeah, the Creative Warriors offers page is a whole other page, which
Gotcha.
is where that round picture goes. I'll be showing you that in a second.
Okay, but that goes in every one of these, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So this same from offers gratitude down is the same every podcast. So we've always, you just kind of change the person's name, putting the name of their guest. Now some guests don't provide a gift. And in that case, it'll just start with check out Creative Warriors offers page, where you can grab the free gifts from previous guests. Like if there's no gift listed, then you just kind of alter it to say check out Creative Warriors offers page, where you can grab gifts from previous guests.
Okay.
But then we always leave please leave a review, and then we have to leave the disclosure because we make money off the books, and that's a legal thing.
Right.
And we don't actually need this in here.
Do you link it, or?
It does. Well, see what happens. So they'll go to the Creative Warriors offers page, and then we have to build the offers page with the actual link.
With the link.
Yeah.
And then change his to her. Dr. Julie is offering her.
Oh, good call.
Okay.
I probably have made that mistake before.
Well, I'm just trying to look at everything. So.
Yeah, no, good call. Dr. Julie's generously offers her planning. Doctor's office as well as check out the free gifts from previous guests.
Okay.
I should probably even we could almost just take that out. Dr. Julie's generously offering, just so, yeah, I don't know.
I don't like that. I mean, it seems to read better, offering her,
Yeah,
or offering a. It's your call. It's your podcast.
Yeah. Well, if you can, let's keep it as is, his and her. I think we can always remember that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just start sliding down, but I also, on the right-hand side, one thing you want to do is we have to choose the category, which would be Creative Warriors Podcast.
Got it.
It's sorted by that. And as we slide down, first we'll come to the focus keyword, which is the same as we use the same focus keyword as we used for the optimization.
Dream big.
So we'll put dream big there.
Did you say on the keywords that there's supposed to be two? So is it two as in two different ones, or is it dream big?
Yeah, it just has to be two words. Like it can't be a
words,
single
okay.
keyword. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Speaking of which, well, I'll show you that. And then this will just kind of do its own thing. Here we go. So you'll see the little thing spinning over here.
Yep.
I just kind of let it go. I mean, it's searching, I guess, for it. And then the meta description, again, I grabbed that from the other blog post. So now you know I always have two open.
Yeah.
It's just easier. And then here I copy and paste and alter.
Yeah.
It just saves some typing. So I'll do business coach Jeffrey Shaw speaks with, if it's an author, if it's a big business, you have to sort of identify who it is. Dr. Julie Connor. Now, here you always want to use the keyword. So, and exactly, like the keyword is dream big. So we don't want to do with Dr. Julie Connor about dreaming big. We have to do about how to dream big. And let's see. So business coach Trevor Shaw speaks with author Dr. Julie Connor about how to dream big. And you can almost kind of take the first sentence
Like
off.
plan well, work
Plan
smart.
well.
Yeah.
Yep. Work. Smart. And let me just copy and paste the rest. Actually, that might be enough right there.
Yeah.
Just
Understand. Yep.
come on. What happened? Command copy. And proceed. Yes, there's only 7 characters left. So,
Got it. Okay.
keep scrolling down. Okay, so the next will be the media URL. This is the actual podcast. So for this, we open up another tab, and the podcast is at Libsyn.com.
All right.
And of course, we'll provide the login.
Okay.
Okay. And then you go under content, previously published, because it is published to here anyway. And then I'll say Creative Warriors, episode 46, Dr. Julie Connor. Click on the little link icon. And the link you want is the top one, the direct download URL.
Okay.
Copy. Go back to, again, the left one is a live one. It's the only way I can remember. It's LL, left live.
Okay.
Paste. And then after you paste it, you have to hit verify. And again, it will spin. You definitely want to hang out, wait for it to finish. And you will always get this warning. Nobody's ever been able to explain to me what it means. It apparently means nothing.
Okay.
And then iTunes summary. You can almost always just take the first paragraph.
Okay, got it.
Sometimes you want to alter it just because, it's meant to be brief and concise, and you want to make sure the guest's name is in there.
Okay.
Dream big, plan well, work smart, pursue your passion with confidence are the life-altering topics that Dr. Julie Connor has made her mission to bring to the world. As she said during our interview, I've spent half my life teaching people how to reach other schools. Now I'm spending half that. Yeah, that's about enough. That's enough. I mean, I don't say a lot because not a lot shows on iTunes.
Got it. Okay.
And then we always have to choose our rating, which is, it's always clean. I think once it wasn't clean because I had a guest who liked to swear.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, we try to keep it clean.
Got it.
And then I always start scanning through it just to make sure we got the image. I did forget to put the podcast player in there once. It was probably the most important person I've ever had on my podcast, and of course I forgot to put that in.
Always.
Luckily, a couple people emailed me and said, you do know you didn't put the player in there.
Oh.
But to this day, he's still our #1 episode, so
Okay.
we made up for it. So paragraph, highlights, resources, offers and gratitudes, affiliate disclosure, focus keyword. Okay. All right. So then you want to save it as a draft.
Okay.
You'll never be publishing it because I'll actually be doing that in the morning.
That's good.
So after you save it as a draft, take a little while. Okay. So now this, the SEO, that's your squirrely rating.
Okay.
Which is good. As long as it's good. Sometimes okay is okay. I mean, sometimes I'll accept okay. I do aim for good. I've never gotten higher than good. But if it's lower than you'd like, you can hit check.
Okay.
And it will tell you what you could do better. So the green, okay, you did all this went well. The keyword phrase dream big does not appear on the page title. I mean, if we wanted to rename it, it could be Big Dream to Action.
How much do you waver away from what they have in their title?
Well, we write this, so we make the title.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But I don't always, like I said, when we write this content over here, we don't know what the keyword's going to be. So often, they happen to work out this time that the word Dream Big was right in the title. It often isn't. So sometimes what you might have to do after you find a good keyword, you may have to go back and just figure out how to add it into this first paragraph. It's most valuable if the keyword is in the first paragraph. So you might have to figure out how to work that word in there a little bit. But as long as you have a good rating, I don't bother stressing it. Anything, if it's low, sometimes I'll look over here and see, well, what could I have done?
Right.
But I have to say, that little squirrely tool is really kind of cool.
Right. Okay.
All right, so as long as that all worked, it's fine, and then I will always go and view the post. Okay, so this will let me know that I like the way it looks. Oh, I know. See, I'm glad I did because I realized something I forgot already.
Okay.
I'll show you in a second. This, I have a pop-up on my blog which always comes up. It drives me crazy. I don't know how visitors feel about it, but it does get a lot of opt-ins, so we have to keep it. But all right, so then we just start testing the links, which drives me crazy. I actually hate doing this, but it's no big deal. Just
So
open it and close
you
it.
just went off the preview on that WordPress page to get to here, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I just hit view. I just hit. You could hit preview, or you can at the. I actually hit at the top view post.
Oh, okay.
There's really no difference from what I know.
Okay.
But I just, this is when I check all the links just to make sure they're all working.
Right.
And the I2 ones, I mean, you don't have to, I mean, it always works. It's just copied and paste. I've never had it not work, so I've kind of gotten lazy and I don't always check it. All right. So the one thing I forgot is, so this is the preview, which you can keep open if you want to just refresh it. So, but in the actual post, what I realized is that I always do a more line, and I usually do that after, depending on how short the paragraphs are. These are pretty short paragraphs, so I might do it after the third paragraph in this case. Usually it's after the second, but we were kind of scrambling to try to figure out what to say about her. We didn't have a lot to say. So this is shorter than usual. So after the third paragraph, then you hit this little insert more tag, and it puts that kind of line in there, and then you'd have to save it again.
And
so that, I'll show you what that does.
yeah.
Once it's done. Okay, so on the original page, it won't look any different to you. Okay, but if you went to the actual, if you were to go to my blog, for example, this is all, let's go back to the beginning of my blog. So this is the opening page of my blog. And if someone goes to just wants to see the podcast, it's a listing of all episodes. That's where you'll see the more. So it collapses the episodes not so long.
Okay.
And it adds a read more.
Okay. So we would put that in every one of them somewhere.
Correct. Except this one doesn't have it. That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, understand.
if you don't mind, I'm actually going to change that real quick.
Sure.
I'll hop over to the come on. I think it is slower when you have two of them open also. I'm not positive of that, but all right, so that was Tiamo. Edit. Now you'll see, actually, just in a comparison, Tiamo, I mean, we had a lot more to say about Tiamo. So in this case, it'll definitely be after the second paragraph.
Got it.
Insert read more. And then, well, you probably won't really do that, but it's in that case, it's an update instead of a draft
Understand.
once it's been published.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. All right. So that all looks good. At this point, you can close the one that we don't need, leaving just the live one open, which technically I only have to leave that open, but I do. And then, so now we'll work on the Creative Warriors offers page.
Okay.
And for that, go to Creative Dash. Okay, and then you would want the WP, the admin.
So is this a different WordPress account?
It's a separate site altogether.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because currently, I say currently because we're redoing everything at some point this year, website, blog, everything. We're trying to bring more things together because a lot's grown in the past year and it's a little scattered. So currently the blog resides on blog.jeffreyshaw.com, and the thank you page is actually creative-warriors.com.
I'll see it on the video, but what was the first WordPress account we went into?
It was blog.jeffreyshaw.com.
Okay, now I understand. Got it.
Yep. Yep. And all right, so here we want to go to all pages. So we're in the Creative-Warriors page. So we refer to this as the Offers and Gratitude page, or thank you page. So we'd edit it. And now, this you have to do completely in HTML. I actually have, oops, actually I didn't need to open this. It's already open. I have instructions on how to type out for myself so that I don't screw this up.
I understand.
And I still do occasionally. Okay. So, all right, so we want to copy. So I could give you these directions too.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, it actually is helpful just to, so
Definitely.
we have to copy from here
So
down
you're
to,
going into the same thank you page every time.
yep, same thank you page. So basically, as you can see that I'm pointing, like you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see over here on the right
Yeah.
from, I've duplicated what we had to copy from this section sand group down to the second div, which is what I've done over here.
Okay.
All right, and so then I would create command copy, and then you paste it under exactly where it is. So under the second div, you go under there, copy, paste. All right, and then I'll scroll in the instructions. Now we have to add the image. Now this often looks different, and I'll never quite figure out why. Because if you look at the instructions, it says IMG class, and yet over here it says REF. Not sure what the difference is, but the bottom line is we want the image, which should start with HTTP and end with the size.
And that's what you have over in the other document, or the other place.
Yes, although
And
no,
is,
actually,
is that in her folder?
yes,
Okay.
the round image would be, except like we're going to pretend she's somebody else at the moment because they don't have her photograph. What I'm unsure about is why the align none is here, because we actually need that low, but I think we're going to be okay. So it shouldn't be a line none, it actually should be a line left. So once you've highlighted the image, again, this does not always work out perfectly. I'm actually going to copy quote to quote. I really think, in fact, I think I need the quotes. In fact, I think I've got over here, see, over here on the right-hand side, I've got the quotes, and then that. I actually think I might need from here all the way. Hold on, bear with me. Why am I not
It's okay.
remembering this? Yeah, at some point it changed because it doesn't start with the IMG. Although over here, now I've got the HTTP.
Why don't you go look at the previous week one or something?
Yeah, well, that seems to be
Oh, well, you're in the previous one.
same, yeah. I think it's just the HTTP through the size. Let's go with that. All right, so then we'll add media. And we would upload and Creative Warriors episodes. There's different versions of Creative Warriors, but there's Creative Warriors Unleashed. But you'll know, actually, we'll just be sharing the one, though.
Okay.
I thought you shouldn't see the rest. I'm going to take Danielle's round photograph, since we were using her as our example. So you just drag it over. And the alignment should be left. That's why I'm not sure why it's coming up none, but actually should be a left alignment. Insert in page. I would definitely update and check it at this point before I went any further. Again, at the top of the page, I hit View Page. Okay. It's bigger, and that it always is. It always comes in bigger, but that's where we have this. We have these words here, all right, which we don't want. So you do always have to change the size to 200 by 200.
Okay.
It comes in at 300 by 300, and you always have to change it here.
Okay.
And the words that are showing up are this right here.
You're just going to delete them?
Yeah, so let's take those out, update it, and see if anything else funky happened. Because we still have a stray. Yeah, see, that's still there. Okay. And it's off alignment. See how it gets so funky. This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Yeah, truly.
I mean, sometimes it can go perfectly smooth, and other times...
Yeah, yeah.
While we're here, I'm also just going to change the name.
Right.
It's a strong author, Randy Cage.
Yeah.
Author, Dr. Julie Connor.
I want to see if it moved down there.
Nope. But now we still have that. Ay, ay, ay. I think that's those. Okay, I'm not sure if that's enough to throw off the alignment, but let's find out.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, but we'll
I
see.
wouldn't either, but... Yeah, I don't know why her name is up there.
So I'm wondering,
So-
on the HTML, do you need to
Yeah.
add in some more line breaks to bring it down?
Yeah, there's something. So now, once I get to this point, then I start really carefully scrutinizing. It should look identical to the the one down here, which was Randy, the one we started with. Okay, so we got that, and then REF equals. Okay. So that's one thing. Up here we have two. We have two REFs. So break REF equals. I think that might be it.
So like when I go in and do the next one, then I would just copy over where Julie's stuff is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, once we get it right. But yeah, see, now you can start seeing that it looks, I
Yeah, closer to...
think we're, even this space here is a little, let me see. Let's get that down here. Get that up here so it matches.
So kind of use Randy as a
Right.
model thing, yeah.
Although, hang on a second, did I want to do that? I moved to Randy. I was working on the wrong one. I think we need that there. All right, let's do an update and see what we have. Oh, now he's got a symbol. And she hasn't moved. Okay, this is really peculiar.
I think for her, we just need some line breaks. But I know what you're doing. You're trying to match it to that other one.
So I don't think we need this. Division class. I mean, it should match his exactly.
Do you have another one below there that hasn't been touched?
Yes. Content uploads to this. Running around equals. And the only difference is his says align none. Hers says align left. Maybe.
So we change it to none because it may be a formatting thing.
Yeah.
Not the way we're thinking about it.
All right, let's try it. Here we go.
All right.
All right.
Teamwork.
Oh gosh, it's really. Maybe I guess apparently it's align none, not left.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got her image in there, we've got her name, but we need to change the offer, so it's to receive. And again, under her original copy, which is under here, which is still.
So there's like two parts to the image and then the offer.
There's the image. There's the guest name.
Yes, yes.
There's the name of the offer, and then there's the link for the offer. So there's actually 4 pieces.
Okay, within those 3 paragraphs, I call them.
Correct.
Okay.
To receive Dr. Julie's planning table download. All right, and now here's the link that we need. I knew that was going to happen. Close that. Okay.
That link, same link, of course. Yep.
And copy, and then that would get stuck in Danielle. All right, so that would go right in here, in between the click here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Command V. Update. Yep.
And can you test it there? Or there you
Yeah, you can.
It's alive. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Now, I did notice that I missed a space, so I'm just going to fix that.
Sure.
Dr. Julie's. Okay. Okay. And that's it.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No, it took us 45 minutes, and that was with a little chatting, so it actually wasn't too bad. And yeah, and I just tend to get both the pages live or live preview, I should say, just to look at them one more time. I used to write a lot more information on this page, but then I decided that the way this page works, so this is, like I said, we call it the offers and gifts page, gratitude page, offers and gratitude. It's kind of a cool thing. The first time a listener goes to this page, they have to opt in. Once they've done it once, as long as they haven't cleared their cookies, they'll never have to opt into the page again. But most of the guests, she didn't, but most of the guests will, what they give us as a link is an opt-in. Well, he did, yeah, you have to down here. You have to put your name and email in. That's what most of them do, because most of them are good business people, and this is how they that's how they build their list. So this way we're all building our list. So that's why I have people sign in. They have to sign in once to get to this page.
Right.
And that's a way of just converting passive listeners to being in your database. So we know that looks good. We know this looks good.
So now,
That's it.
so what do you have to do? Go back to her for an image, or?
Yeah, so I'm waiting for her. She just never got back her headshot. She never got her headshot to us.
Okay.
And we just didn't we didn't notice the piece missing. And we usually, we can always go online and find someone, but every photograph of her online is so small that none of them are large enough to get a decent quality out of. So that's it for the blog posting. And then, of course, what happens from here is I create an email blast that gets sent out to all the subscribers. And then, in the morning I get up, from the blog, I publish it. Once it's published, it goes straight into iTunes, Stitcher, and it's posted live on the blog. And then, and then everything gets into action. I alert. I let the guests know that they're live, the interview's live. And I send out the email blast. But I need the podcast has to go live in order to take a live link to put into the email.
Right. So the part at this moment in time is what that you would like for me to do is what you've just showed me.
Correct. Yep.
And not publish it. Save it as draft.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. That's it.
All right. Okay. Did you and Warren discuss what I had sent and how we can work together, or?
Loosely, I think, I think to start with, I think on a per hour basis is probably best.
Okay.
Because what I know is that this will take about an hour a week. I mean, this took us about 45 minutes. So, I would expect about an hour on Tuesday nights, and I'm not sure. I mean, everything you've done for us has been great. I just don't know that we have 5 hours a week worth of work right now. I mean, that could definitely change. So I think, because this is a constant, but other things like the lead pages that you did for me, that's kind of on a per project basis, and I never quite know when that's going to come up. I go through spurts. Where this would definitely be a constant.
Well, of course, let's start with this, okay?
Yep.
And then, are you going to go to 2 a week? Is that what you're thinking?
We are, and that's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet. In that I don't know.
But
We haven't figured out whether we're going to do. Because my concern is about the email blast. I don't want to start emailing the subscribers twice in a week, because we also are promoting a lot of other things. So what we may do is you may get both podcasts up to this stage, both of them on Tuesdays, and then we'll make both of them go live. We may send out one email on like Wednesdays that features Wednesdays and Saturdays episode. So it may wind up being on Tuesdays. You're actually doing 2 episodes.
okay.
Because originally, what I want to do is I want to broadcast on Wednesdays and Saturdays, because it may be Tuesday and Saturday. Saturdays actually are a good day for podcasting. We've tested different days, and we usually do pretty well on a Saturday. So we've always been a Wednesday, and in January when we tested it, we did Wednesday and Saturday. We may go Tuesday and Saturday just to give a little more space there, but I'm not sure yet. We have to test Tuesday versus Wednesday and see if there's a difference in response.
Okay.
But I think we're leaning towards now that both episodes for the week are going to go live at the same time.
Okay. So you see the document that you have set aside with her, Dr. Julie, and Dreams to Action?
Yes.
If you go back into that folder, I guess we want to call it a folder, but where you have everything housed,
Yes.
and go back another level, kind of go up a level, I guess. Okay. So a question I have is, So like number 47 is like next. Okay, when they're put in here. No, let me reword my question. If you get into a groove where, they're ready, will you tell me and I can get them set up? Or
Yes,
is it pretty much week? You get it for the week and then you work on the next one.
It's pretty down to the wire. I mean, that's why we've always, so we probably, I'm willing to, just based on our habits, because it is usually by the wire. It's usually on Mondays or sometime during the day on Tuesday that we actually get around to writing the content. So I don't think you'll be,
Okay. No problem.
I think it's kind of a Tuesday night thing, or, we can try to, if you don't want to work at night, I mean, we'll try to Warren's nodding his head. We can alter our schedule just to make sure we get it done on, why don't we plan on this? We'll get the content written by Mondays, by the end of the day Monday, so that at some point Tuesday you can get it done.
No, that's good. I mean, that's fine. I'm pretty flexible, but all I was going to say was that, and then not knowing how you guys operate, okay? But if if you had some planned out, I would certainly get them ready. But is the process going to be that you just email me something short and sweet that says number 47, Dennis Martin is ready? See, I don't want to go in there and you've got open items.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of a...
Yeah, we could. I mean, I think once we get into a groove,
Okay.
I think you'll just know on Tuesday. I mean, we'll live up to our obligation and just make sure it's done, sometime on Monday. Now, granted, we can work some crazy hours, but all you need to know is if you wake up, I mean, if we get into a groove here, you just know on Tuesdays that it's there for you.
Okay, so if I went in Tuesdays at noon to do these, unless I've heard something different, then it's good to go.
Exactly. Yeah. And it should be just, right now we're still just doing one episode a week, so it'll be number 47, and then eventually you might be working on 48 and 49 at the same time.
Right, that's all I'm saying is
right.
As long as that's communicated to me. If you guys get ahead, you know what I'm saying?
I will be honest, we never get ahead on that. I mean, we record about 6 to 8 weeks in advance. Like right now, because we're planning on going 2 episodes, we have about 12 episodes pre-recorded.
Okay.
It's sort of a Monday discipline that we just get in there and get. We're never that far ahead. Unless we're going away. I mean, if we get away, if we're going to be away and we're going to be away for a couple weeks, then we will sometimes jump ahead.
Yeah.
But it never seems to happen.
Okay, so the first one that I'll actually do will be number 47.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And what are the applications, real quick? I think there was 2 or 3 of them that I'll need login credentials. You'll need to
Yes. So you'll need. I'll have to email. I'll email you all the logins for both of the WordPress pages. Libsyn. I'll create. So this folder, the Creative Warriors episodes. This is the. I'll just make this a shared folder with you right now.
Let her know that the hers are always going to be cute and yellow.
Okay. All right. Let me do this first. What?
Hey, Warren.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. It sounds like, are you cooking dinner?
No.
Oh.
No. I'm ordering in.
Oh, that sounds even better.
We live in Manhattan. Cook dinner.
Oh,
What's that?
I'm just a
No, he
Florida
does
girl.
cook.
I'm just a Florida girl.
No. I'm on the other computer writing up something else.
Okay.
But the folder the thing that you're looking in has 4 sections. One's coded in green.
Okay.
That means it's been published.
Okay.
So I code everything in green, number it and code it in green when it's been released. Yellow means that it's in queue.
Okay.
And anything without a color, then there's a master file section, which is
Let me get
kind of
to
clear.
it. So yeah. So there's an invitation to the folder on its way to you.
Perfect.
So yeah, this is what he's
So you
talking
see the
about.
screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the top row is all coded in green. That means we've published it. It's been released.
Okay.
this center folder, which is orange, that happens to be in my master files.
Okay, orange.
It has like music and ads and stuff like that.
Okay, got it.
And then the file right under that, the yellow one, I don't know why Danielle is in there, but the next group of yellow, that is what we should have everything we need to move forward with that particular session.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where you're going to find your.
So my work will be there.
Yeah,
your
you'll be in
work
yellow.
will be in yellow, and the one with no tags means we haven't recorded yet. We just have scheduled appointments.
Well, no, they're recorded.
So then they should be moved to yellow.
Okay, that's very. I like the way you have this organized. That's very good. So you'll be moving it from yellow to green when you publish.
Correct.
Okay.
But you'll find what you need in the yellow section, so you don't get confused with everything.
Everything's
And I
basically moving upward.
I could actually make another color and just.
No,
I could.
this is perfect. I get this.
Okay.
No, that's perfect. I was.
This just gives me a snapshot of what's going on.
Oh no, I love it. It's a visual. I was just gonna mention, like, if you open up Julie's folder again, over time, wherever that's needed now, is this where her images were, or was that somewhere else?
They're supposed to be.
They're supposed to be here, but
She just never gave us
She-
images.
yeah.
No,
We
no.
missed-
Open up somebody else, then. I'm sorry. Somebody, a better example, maybe a published one.
Yeah.
All I was going to say is that over time, as we work together, and if it provides some relief, like, making the images, and because I have Photoshop and everything to the right size and all that, if any of that sort of housekeeping work I can do, then you just have to let me know.
okay.
But let's start with what we have.
Okay, so you work in Photoshop.
Yeah, I'm not. I have it's called Draw Plus. I do a lot of graphics work over there that I bring them into Photoshop just to crop them and size them.
Got it.
But like, if you have these logistics going on where they send you an image, but then you have a certain size that you need you need the master created,
Right.
then, as we move forward, a lot of that logistics I could do for you. So,
Okay.
those things that probably, you do, but it's not probably the best use of your time.
Yeah. Well, the Photoshop, honestly, the Photoshop work, being a photographer for me, that's the quick part. Like that doesn't even stress me.
It is.
Um,
It is.
Yeah, no, that's I don't mind the. Actually, I get a little creative. I like to play with the photographs they send me and change them, and so I don't mind that part too much.
Okay.
But I was thinking about something else. I've already slipped my mind. But there, yeah, and then honestly, the thing I hate doing is the email. But that is something I feel like I need to do because it is in my own voice.
Yes.
And that's the next, like, that's what I'll do when we get off the phone, is I'll draft the email that's going to go out tomorrow morning about it. And it is something I do have to do. Even, like, Warren writes the content that you're posting to the blog. He's writing that.
Okay.
But I write the emails because I tend to give my opinion, or, I give some insight into my experience with the interview. So that I try to give my own voice. But believe me, if we can think of more things to delegate to you, we definitely will.
I have a question, Julie. What?
This is not Julie. This is Brenda.
I'm sorry, Brenda.
Julie's the doctor.
Julie'll be there tomorrow.
Julie's the guest.
Confused. So I have a question. So you work in WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with Entreport.
Yes.
What other and now you do a little Photoshop work. What other programs are you familiar with that you work with? I'm just curious.
Well, just about anything in the Microsoft suite, but as far as more so, like I've worked with, I do a lot of work for people in Lead Pages, which that's how we met.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, I do, but every auto, like ClickFunnels, Profit Builder. That's a WordPress plugin that you can do your landing and squeeze pages.
Okay.
And then just about every autoresponder you can think of, Aweber, MailChimp.
Okay.
There's a few over in Australia. I don't remember their name. Oh, SendPepper. SendPepper's one.
Yep.
So, autoresponders, I've done a lot of work. I get a lot of requests to help set up email campaigns where they have an offer, it drops in, but then they want to do their follow-up sequence
Sure.
to nurture the client,
Mm-hmm.
or the lead rather. And then I've done some work in Infusionsoft, but my husband actually took over that part of what we do because I get a lot of the lead page, squeeze page, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, building campaigns and setting up e-commerce, just all that stuff.
Okay. How familiar are you with WordPress?
WordPress, I am familiar as I can go in and if someone says, I need to make some updates. I'm not a designer.
Yep.
That's what I'm not. I can go in and make updates. I can do blog posts. I'm pretty comfortable with all of that. I can add a form if there's, if you link in the autoresponder and you want to link an opt-in form to a page, that kind of stuff. I'm just not the designer or the developer.
Okay. We were using SendPepper, and we migrated over to Entreport.
Mm-hmm.
And during that process, which became a lot more cumbersome than we realized it would be, we had some issues, and I had hired somebody to work with us to take all of our lead pages and smart forms and other various things that we used in the SendPepper account and link them up in the Entreport account so that as people were opting in for our free e-guides and various things, they were going into the right database.
The right list, right.
So we did that, and we tested it, and it seemed fine. And we still continue to have people coming into our SendPepper account, which we need to close. We've needed to close it for 3 months now.
Right.
And we've gone back and forth. I've gone back and forth with the person who helped us, and other various people. And she recently just sent me an email saying, "Well, I think the reason why this is happening is because some of your plugins and your WordPress account, which we have more than one, we have 2. It needs to be updated." And I know this because when I go to this is what she says to me. When I go to your blog or when I go to your website and I use certain forms, I get opted into Entreport. But I get opted into SendPepper. But when I go to the ones that you've created, all the new ones you've created, I get opted into Entreport. So she's saying that what her assessment is that the lead pages and the forms that we're currently using in certain locations are part of the outdated version and therefore is not working properly.
Well, I don't want to make it sound this simple, but logically is that first you identify the web pages that they're opting in from,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just trace it back to the form or the list that's connected to that opt-in. So I mean, that's the way I would analyze it, is identify all the pages that someone can opt in, and then just trace it back to, like if it's coming off a WordPress page, then you would just look at what's sitting behind that, if it's connected to Entreport or SendPepper.
Yeah, and I think that part of the issue here, and I'm pretty sure that this is part of the issue,
Just heard from them.
is that for example, I'll give you an example. We have an e-guide called In Their Shoes.
Okay.
And in their shoes, that e-guide, you may be able to access it from 3 or 4 different places.
Mm-hmm.
It could be from the back of another e-guide. It could be from our blog. It could be from our website. I'm not even going to go down the path of it could be from an email because that doesn't really, I'm not concerned about that. But so I feel like she corrected certain ones but couldn't find other ones, so therefore we're getting opt-ins from different locations for different reasons, and it's a little bit of an octopus.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you think that she would have the list of the ones that she could not button up? Would you be able to connect her to me and I could help her?
My last communication with her was really simple. It was because you have 14 plugins that need to be updated and one of your WordPress sites need to be updated. And I don't want to do that because if I were to do that and something went wrong, your system might go down. Which I don't know. I mean, I'm not doing it because I don't know what I'm doing. But the truth of the matter is, I would assume that everything should get normally updated and it wouldn't be a problem.
Well, I'll say this to that topic, okay? Me myself, I would be a little, WordPress, in my opinion, it's fine, but it's a little unstable at times.
Yeah.
So me myself, I would probably want you to sign off and say, yep, I want to install that latest release of WordPress because Lord only knows what it will do.
Yep.
So I understand probably her nervousness there a little bit. What I don't understand though is that once, if you go to the different places that these opt-ins come in, it's pretty easy to refresh the like if it's going to SendPepper, to change it over to Entreport. So I guess that's sort of, I don't understand what the issue is there.
Well, I don't either. That's why I'm a little confused because at first I was assuming that it was all done because that's what the work was supposed to be done. And when it wasn't working properly, I mean, some of it was completely fixed, but some of it clearly is not. I mean, over this last month, we probably had 100 leads go into the wrong database.
Ooh.
So, that's enough for it to be a concern. I think if it was like 40 leads, we probably would have just called it a day and said, we'll break the link and be done with it. But I've been a little concerned because I think it's substantial enough for us to want to solve the problem. So I kept pushing back because I had a list of all the things that she changed and all the things that happened and all the statuses and blah, blah, blah. And then I was seeing things come in from those particular quote-unquote downloads that somebody would get. And her communication back was, well, it's not for this particular location that I updated. It must be coming from someplace else that I'm not aware of. But I mean, everything is hosted in 2 places.
Yeah, I was going to say it's sort of a bean count, kind of a balancing.
I mean, granted, some of it's on lead pages, some of it's on smart forums, and I understand that it's not all clean and in exactly one spot. Like there's a laundry list, you can look at it, there's 20 items, okay, these 20 items are either updated or they're not. I mean, I know you have to kind of go to both WordPress sites, I know you have to also look at the lead page sites, and I know obviously what we created in Smart Forms and Entreport are completely working, so that's not an issue.
Except you want to be you want to be everything on Entreport, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so did she give you a baseline of what she did or what she checked off and what she refreshed?
Yes, she did.
Well,
She did. I mean, I have a document that says, this is what I did, here's the location, here's what happened, and if there were any holes or issues. So we went through all that, and then we circled back, and I circled back because there were some things that I thought were fixed that weren't. And then the ultimate response was, well, it has to be because either your lead pages or your widgets are not updating. But I just don't understand how an outdated plugin has anything to do with that.
No, it's not logical. Do you know if she went through every lead page opt-in, that's an opt-in page, and made sure that it was not connected to SendPepper? Or is that a question?
No, I gave her the list. She had the list. And she told me she worked the list and she gave me the details on it.
Well, why don't you send everything to me? And then, because that's the first approach, me personally, that's how I would go about this. I would go through all of your lead pages and look at the integration, and look for anything that is not Ontraport, or, kind of narrow down where the disconnects are.
I mean, honestly, I could give you access to SendPepper as well.
Yeah, I would need
You
that.
can, and I can give you the date that, from the date of migration forward, all those leads came in.
Yeah.
And there, you'll see that there. I mean, if it was one thing,
Right.
if it was all coming from one location, I would say that we just don't know where that is, or there's a problem with that one item.
Right.
But I'm seeing that it's more than that. It's like 3 or 4 items.
Right. I mean, there's only so many places it can be coming from.
Yeah, we only have. We have 2 WordPress accounts, as I said.
We have 3.
We have 3, but with 2 for what we're talking about, though.
Nothing's coming in off that third one.
What's the third one?
Unleashed. Creative Warriors Unleashed. No, there shouldn't be.
No, there's nothing from Creative Warriors Unleashed.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it would be 2. It would be 2 locations because all of the e-guides are tied to our. I'm pretty sure all of our.
So I told you, we just got a message from Ontraport. This is where the 2 leads are coming from.
Okay.
We were in touch with Ontraport support the other day, and they just happened to email me while you guys were talking.
Right?
Supposedly identifying where those.
Yeah. let me see.
But
coming from.
we only have the 2. They only come from 2 locations.
Well, these 2 contacts anyway are coming from something called VIP Respond Assassinate.
Well, I mean, we don't want to keep them to.
Well, here's what we can do. Send me what you have, what she's done.
Okay.
Send me the login credentials. Because the bottom line is that everywhere you have an opt-in, you want it to be dropping into a list in Ontraport, right?
Yes.
Correct. It has to all go to Ontraport
So
now.
that's the goal, right?
Absolutely.
So let me do my own way of how I would check them and see if I can find where the gaps are.
Okay.
Because we got to find those, because when you turn off SendPepper, they're either dropping in or they're going nowhere,
Yep.
right?
Well, yeah, and absolutely. I mean, it won't work. Number one, we won't get the leads, but more importantly, I mean, it won't function. So
Right, you'll have.
I'm more concerned about. I mean, honestly, I hate when you go someplace, you read something, you feel connected, and you want to take that next step, and it doesn't work.
What it does is it hurts your brand.
Absolutely.
Well, this is where it's coming from.
That's one, right? Or is that everything?
Well,
Okay, Matt,
Ontra-
how did you get to this opt-in? Where did you go? Did you go to lead?
Well, Ontraport said in the email that the 2 most current leads came in from this page, so I copied and pasted that, and that's where this is.
Okay, where is this a lead page?
I don't know.
Okay, then.
This is a website. This is.
Do you have another website? Yeah, how many websites do you have?
No, I think what he's I don't think this is on the Jeffrey Shaw website, like my main website, because I think it's just copied to look like it, because I don't have that ability. I think.
No, but who owns this domain here?
Oh, who knows? I mean, I own so many things.
Well, what was the name of that domain? It was what, VIP respond? Okay.
VIPrespond.com.
But it doesn't look like a page that was created in Lead Pages because it doesn't.
It doesn't look like a lead page. I know. I would
So,
agree.
did you at one time use something other than Lead Pages?
It wouldn't have been me. It would have, it could have. Yeah, this was by a previous staff member.
Actually, I'm going to do a Google search real quick. Give me just a sec. Because if something else other than Lead Pages was used, but I don't actually recognize that as one of those kind of apps, so I don't think that's the deal. Okay. All right. Well, Warren, I'll be happy to go about it sort of in my logical way I would do it, and see if I can see anything she wasn't able to tie together.
Well, the most common ones that we're getting that we're not able to figure out where they're coming from is through this thing called a Fascinate test. It was a guest that we had as a podcast that we were offering it for free, and they opted in. I think this is the culprit. If we can figure out where this is, I actually think this is the culprit for almost all of them.
Is this residing on one of your clients' websites?
No, I'm not sure where this is coming from. But I can find out. I can get a hold of my previous staff member and ask him where he created this.
Hang on, I'm going to go see.
It does not look like a lead page.
No, it's not. It doesn't have the
No.
extension in there. So,
What was that? Okay.
yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking is that another app that does opt-in pages.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not making any sense though is why, Maureen, did she come up with a short list of things in SendPepper that she couldn't trace back?
No.
Okay.
I don't recall that. I mean, I have her list. It's been a while. This has been an ongoing project.
Okay.
I mean, I can pull all of our communications. I've saved everything.
Right. Yeah, the only thing that's not making sense is that opt-in that we just looked at is it going to SendPepper right now?
Yes.
Okay, so there should have been something in SendPepper that she could have traced back that's hasn't been switched over to Interport. That's the only thing. I mean, it's sort of like all the dots have to connect.
Yeah.
So, but
All right. Well, we'll see what we can figure out. I'm emailing the previous employee too, see if now that we've identified the page, it's the first time we've never known where I've never seen this page.
Yeah.
So it's out there somewhere, and he created it.
okay.
I want to find out maybe he can identify where it is. So maybe we'll figure it out.
Okay, then if you want me to do anything, then just send me the information.
Definitely will. In the
Thank you
meantime,
very much.
Sure thing.
in the meantime, I want to let you know I emailed you those instructions for the Creative Warriors page.
Okay.
I emailed those to you, and it occurred to me that you would also, I guess you would also need in the Creative Warriors episodes folder, you'll also need this PSD master for this photo. Well, no, you won't. Sorry, I'm going to be doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
if that day comes, fine. But right now,
Yeah.
I just work in the yellow.
Exactly. Ignore that. Just stay in your yellow lane, and you'll be all
Yeah, I'm
good.
in my lane.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent. We'll talk to you next week just to get everything all set. But just plan on sometime Tuesday. We'll make sure we get in a pattern of making sure everything's ready for you by Mondays.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go in, Tuesday early afternoon because I know the first time it's gonna take me longer, because I'm going to make sure, double check everything, and then allow enough time that you can look at it and make sure that everything's good.
Okay. This is interesting. Actually, I'm just noticing more information on this email. Per conversation.
Static or chicken?
No, I guess that's the issue, not the. Okay. No trouble. We'll see if we can figure this out.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great
You
night.
too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.